Let's be real, your best ideas are probably your most valuable assets. But in a world that's completely connected, a world without borders, how do you actually defend them? Today, we're going to break down the playbook for building a modern defense for your intellectual property. Because let's face it, the old rules just don't apply anymore.
Just imagine this for a second. A distributor starts misusing your trademark over in Tokyo, while your legal team back home is sound asleep. By the time they even get online, the damage is already done. And that right there, that's the new reality. As this quote says, in IP protection, a few hours can mean real brand damage and lost revenue. Every single time zone creates a potential gap in your defense.
So, let's dive into what this modern, global IP battlefield actually looks like. You know, protecting your ideas isn't just about stopping a few local counterfeiters anymore. We're now up against a whole new breed of digital threats that can pop up from anywhere, at any time, and at a scale we've just never seen before. I mean, just look at the shift here. We've gone from the physical world of local markets and pirated DVDs on the left to the digital chaos you see on the right. Modern threats aren't just about fake handbags. They're about things like somebody hijacking your domain name or a competitor bidding on your trademark as a keyword in ads. These attacks are global, they're instant, and they need a totally different kind of game plan.
So how do you even start to build a defense for all this? Well, it all begins with knowing exactly what you're protecting. Think of this section as your playbook for identifying your crown jewels, the core IP assets that give your business its unique edge.
Okay, first up, we've got patents. The best way to think about a patent is like a contract with the public. You agree to show everyone exactly how your amazing invention works, and in return, you get a temporary monopoly to make money from it. It's really the foundational protection for a truly groundbreaking idea.
Next up, trademarks. This is your brand's unique signature out there in the marketplace. It could be a logo, a name, even a specific sound. It's the symbol that tells customers, hey, this is the real deal. So when you protect your trademark, you're really protecting your entire reputation. Now, let's talk about copyright, and there's a really important distinction to make here. It's all about the difference between an idea and its expression. So you can't copyright the idea of a school for wizards, but you absolutely can copyright the specific book you wrote about it. This protects the actual tangible form of creativity, everything from software code to a piece of art or music.
And finally, we have trade secrets. Now, this is the stuff you protect by not telling anyone. It's basically the complete opposite of a patent. Think about the secret formula for Coke or a company's private algorithm. Its value is entirely tied up in its secrecy. This quote really gets to the heart of why IP even exists in the first place. It's not just about protecting big corporations. As the World Intellectual Property Organization points out, it's all a delicate balancing act. We reward innovators to encourage progress, but we also make sure that society benefits from these new ideas spreading. It's a system that's designed to help everyone.
Okay, so you've identified your IP. Now for the big question. How do you defend it? We're shifting gears now from talking about assets to talking about action. This is all about building a proactive defense strategy, and the absolute core of that strategy is a clear escalation protocol. Building that plan really comes down to these 4 essential steps. You start by identifying your key assets, your crown jewels. Then you figure out where you're most vulnerable. And this next part is critical. You define the exact triggers for a response. Finally, you assign roles so that when something does happen, your team acts with precision, not panic. And defining those triggers, well, it means you have to categorize your risk. Just like you see in this table, a minor logo misuse by a partner, that's a low-risk thing, handled locally. No big deal. But large-scale counterfeiting operations, that's high risk, and it triggers an immediate global escalation. This tiered approach is so crucial. It stops your team from burning out on small stuff and makes sure the biggest threats get the full attention they deserve. A plan is really just a piece of paper until it's tested. So now, let's shift from planning to action. This is all about what happens when the pressure's on and you have to execute that plan because a threat has just been detected. The alert comes in. An IP breach is happening right now. So what's the first move? If you have a good plan, you already know the answer. The response should follow a critical 4-step process. First, containment. You have to stop the bleeding and isolate the problem. Second, investigation. You figure out exactly what happened and how. Third, eradication. You completely remove the threat from your system. And finally, recovery. You restore your assets, and, this is key, you learn from what happened to make your defenses even stronger for next time. When you do have to take legal action, you've got some seriously powerful tools in your arsenal. You can get an injunction, which is a court order to halt the activity immediately. You can go after financial damages to cover your losses. And for the really blatant, shameless violations, courts can award additional damages to send a crystal clear message. IP infringement comes with some severe consequences. So where does all of this lead? What's the end game here? Well, the ultimate goal isn't just to react to threats as they pop up. It's about building a system that's so strong and so proactive that it becomes truly resilient, turning your defense into an actual competitive advantage. And this, right here, is the transformation we've been talking about this whole time. A well-defined IP protocol takes the chaos and the sheer panic of a crisis and turns it into a calm, manageable procedure. It replaces fear with a clear, step-by-step plan. That is the real power of being prepared. And that leaves us with one final and really critical question. In a world where ideas can travel at the speed of light and threats are just constant, are your best ideas, your crown jewels, truly defended?